It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air. Oh, get inside. If the weather's fine and you got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Each bird keeps singing his own song. So long, I've got to be on my way now. No fun just hanging around. I got to cover ground. You couldn't keep me down. It just ain't no good if the sun's shining. You're still inside. Still inside. Still inside. We'll be children with robins and flowers. Sunshine caresses each new waking hour. Seems to me that people keep seeing more and more each day. Gotta say, lead the way. It's okay. Brand new day. Gotta say, it's okay. All right. Lead the way.
Well, good morning, folks. Happy Tuesday morning. Good to see you here today. I hope I put the right link in because it looks like the wrong graphic came up. So I'm just going to look at that very quickly and make sure I don't have the last time's link up. I think we're good, but I'm not positive of that yet. It says we're live. There we are. Yep, we're good. We're good. Over in the YouTube channel. So welcome, everybody. Hope you had a good night last night. I see Philip Blair did. And Philip, you were up all night reading. What were you reading, brother? They kept you up all night long. So good to see. Must have been good. A real page turner, as they say. And so I hope everybody's having a good morning. I've already got the kids off to school, had coffee. My wife said, "You're doing KB's show again? Didn't you just do that yesterday?" I said, "No, I was just a guest yesterday." And so, and I was working while we were doing that, designing book covers. So this morning, it's me. I see we've got Michael, Viking Off-Roading. He's waiting in the wings. Let's bring him in right now. Hey, Michael.
Hey, good morning, Scotty. How
you doing, brother?
Hanging in there.
Right on.
So what time are you going live today? What with Robertson and Robertson?
Robertson is today at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. London, England time.
So
good morning, everybody. Sandra, good to see you. Carlene, good to see you. Allison, hi. She says, Philip Blair, of course, we said hi to. He's been reading all night, he said. He hasn't been to bed since the show last night. So
he's still up.
Mm-hmm.
He on top of it. Yeah.
I want to know what he's reading. They kept him up all night. So
Nephilim. Yeah, he's reading the Nephilim.
Did I just hear a rooster in the background over on your side?
No, you heard of Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Yeah, Henry. Yeah, she's on the video chat, and Henry's behind.
All right. Well, come on, Wendy.
I'm naked, Scotty.
Is it?
Even better.
Oh, Lord.
What are you talking to a naked woman for, Michael?
You know how it is sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah. She said because he can. Yeah.
Because he can.
Because I'm not
There it is.
afeared. I'm not afeared. You
Because
know.
he's not afeared.
I'm not afeared.
So here we are. We're sitting in for Kenny KB Ballos this morning. He is having a little bit of a rough go. He says he feels fine, but he, of course, is. I hate the term "we're fighting cancer" or "we're struggling with." No, he's living his life, and he found out he's got cancer, and he's working on it. And some days are worse than others. And some days are okay. Hey, look, we got Carlene. Let's bring Carlene in too. Here, I'm going to switch
Morning.
this around. Boom, like
Boom.
that. How you doing, Carlene?
I'm doing pretty good. I want to hijack your show for a second this morning. Not too many people are on because I have a call coming in. That is my weekly call. And then we have to pick his mother up from the hospital. Not a fun day.
Yeah. But you make it fun. You make it as fun as you can.
Yeah, well, I'm still reeling a little from yesterday. Why I want to hijack your show for a second. I've been in, or of course, people assume. I've been in therapy for many, many years because of what I dealt with. I said yesterday what I spoke of was barely the tip of the iceberg. Why I'm bringing it up, you'll see in the end. I've always had people even family that I put on a pedestal would question me and say, well, are you really sure this happened? And so I stayed clammed up, never said a word, never said a word. And yesterday it was actually, very few people know what happened that 18 years. And yesterday was the first time that I opened up and said, you know what? I feel comfortable around these people. They're not judgmental. Never met one of you a day in my life, but talked about it yesterday, struggled a little bit with it throughout the day. And then when I woke up this morning, I'm like, you know what? I got a good group of people. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. And I just want to thank everybody.
Oh,
because it really meant a lot. That, like I said, that's something that I haven't been able to deal with. And yeah, I've dealt with it some, but when you have trauma situations, it's tough. But I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing that.
Thank you for feeling open enough to be able to share that stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I tend to get emotional, and
you don't have to say sorry. You've watched my show. You know what? I will cry at an old Flintstones episode.
Yeah.
So
I've been there, done that.
When he loses his Winstons, I'll cry also.
No, it's just like I said, it just felt really good, and it's something that I don't know. I guess on your show, I was questioning a bit. Why. I think I was still kind of in my debate mode of what, and I question. I'm like, why does God put all this crap in front of you?
Yeah.
And somebody reached down. I won't mention her name because I don't know if she wants me to, but one of our regulars, and she said, well, I don't think, and it was kind of like a light switch came on. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm looking at this not correctly.
I don't think, in my experience, both personal experience, theologically, I don't think God puts shit in our path.
Yeah.
I think God lets life move the way it's supposed to move. And he says, if you need something from me, I'm here.
Ask. Yeah.
Ask. He doesn't always give. Because sometimes it's like, hey, this is life. You got to work your way through this.
No.
I said that to an old pastor friend of mine. I said when I was writing some of my books and I ran some stuff by him, and I said, I'm really starting to doubt the way we teach about God. I said, I think he's very different than we thought. And he surprised me with his answer. He said, well, you might be right. He says, we choose this mode in our church, and this is what we teach based on the Bible. And this is the way we are. He says, but we could be wrong. He said, we might not have a corner on every bit of knowledge that's out there, every bit of God. So, it's all right. it's all right to say, I got these issues. And God says, look, this is the same pastor who said from the pulpit, he wasn't that kind of a preacher. He was a really good teacher, but he said, God, and he put it in the context of Jesus. He says, is there with open arms, ready to take your problems. And what I found about God over the years, it's not so much that God says, I'll take your problems and solve them all for you. Just sit back. You sit back over there in that lounge chair and I'll take care of your problems. No, it's God says, I'll hear you. And it's like I mentioned the other day, I had that man that was my mentor when I was a kid. And he got cancer when I was about 13, 14 years old. He's the age I am now at that time. And I asked him, he was in hospice care and a nursing home, we called it. I didn't understand what hospice care was back then. And I went to visit him, and he didn't look so good. He didn't look like he felt good. And I said, Bill, how you doing today? And he said, he just kind of, normally big smiley face on this man. And he said, he says, looked up and he just quoted that Bible verse. He said, I said, how you doing? And he said, my grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. And, he quoted from the old King James. And so that was pretty strong stuff. And as you can tell, I was 13 or 14. Well, no, when he died, I was 15. That stuck with me for all those years. I'm 62 now. I'm the age he was when he died. And I remember thinking, he's an old man. Not in a derogatory way. He's an old man. And but he wasn't all that old now that I see it from this perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Age, when you're young, you think, damn, these people are ancient. And then when you start getting
right
their age, you're like, well, it's not that bad, And
right.
But like I said, I was this morning, back was hurting and stuff like that. And I thought, I was going to send you a message and say, I might come in later. I thought, nope, what you said, if you tell somebody you're going to do something, you get up, you put your shirt on, you brush your hair. Not even have time to make a cup of coffee, So it's Mountain Dew and Mike this morning. It's not coffee and KB. It's 30, said 30 was old back then. Yeah, hell, 30 was ancient. It's like, oh, look at them old people,
Look at them old people.
Yeah.
When you're 15, 16, 17, into your 20s, 60 is ancient. And then you get there and you're kind of like, wow, that ain't that ancient. But I'm certainly getting older.
I'm guessing that's why I didn't see my grandmother as old. She was 100, and I'm like, well, that really ain't that old, because I'm nearing.
That ain't that old.
God forbid, in August, I'm nearing that big old 60 number. I don't look forward to.
Right. Oh, did you just reveal your age to us?
Sure. Somebody asked me one day, and then another person said, one of the kids I worked with, he said, actually, how old are you? And I say kid because he was in his 20s. And an older one in his early 30s said, you never ask a woman her age. And I says, I guess I'm not a woman because I really don't care.
I
really don't care. I ain't afeard.
After you get a certain age, you don't care if people ask or not. It's like, if people, at the dollar store, they say, oh, I need your ID to buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see all this?
I went and bought beer here a couple weeks ago for the first time in I can't tell you how long, because I wanted a beer and I actually got carded, and I'm like, oh my God, are you really kidding me?
Yeah.
Carlene does camera time. Now hush. Yeah. She always, and like I said, she won't do nothing when if I'm just having a video chat or whatever, can't get her to do anything. But quick as the camera's on.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Hi, puppy girl. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby girl. What a pretty puppy.
Hi, all right.
That pretty puppy.
She's look at it.
Hi. But yeah, I wanted to come on this morning. Like I said, I'm waiting on my call, so I'm gonna disappear. The good news is I've been out of that situation 11 years. I'm safe. I'm protected. But it just, I guess it's still really, I don't know. I hadn't dealt with it as much as I thought. So I wanted to come on. Like I said, I want to thank each and every one of you. Some of you I talked to privately, some just on here. But it's made a big difference.
Well, I think everybody's happy to be there. You know, that's the nice thing about having friends, even online friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I say that
definitely.
with my own radio audience, is that everybody seems to be there for everybody. Sometimes there's bickering, and I hate that. By the way, during my radio shows, people get on, they point fingers or they bicker, and I'm like, all right, that's enough of that now.
Life's too short, as I say, you know.
Take it out of the chat room, I say, and go private. Call each other, work it out.
Yeah,
I don't want that on my chat channel forever.
He had to chastise a few last night. Told him, said, nope, that's enough. Be polite. Sometimes you got to remember people to be polite.
And people are when we're so worried about looking good or not having somebody else make us look bad, or we're worried about what somebody said over here, or having to defend what we said over there, it becomes really stupid. And maybe that's part of being older. You start to realize that after a while, and you go, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need to be that way. I was talking to one of my daughters last night, my older daughters, one of my twins. If Brianna was here, I'd say, you know, my twin daughters, Abby and Bryn, they're 31 years old. And so I was venting about something yesterday. We talked for an hour. I called her up and I said, I just got to vent about something. Go ahead, Dad, vent away. And I just blew up a blue streak and all this, talked about some stuff that was on my mind that was bothering me. And she really helped me calm down because I could blow steam without anybody being judgmental. And she just let me blow steam. And then her sister, the other twin, she writes me back 5 minutes after I hang up, and she goes, well, maybe 10 minutes or so. And she said, Dad, Abby just called me and said, you know, and she said, I love you. I just want you to know I love you, and I'm here if you want to talk. And if you want to blow steam on me, I'm here too. I don't call her as much because she's married. They've got a busy life. Well, you know, they're both busy. And my other daughter, who I talked to, she's not married, but she's been with the same guy. They live together. They just bought a big house together in North Carolina, and they've been together 6 years, something like that. So she's just as married as the other daughter. So I always tend to call Abby first, and because I know she's usually a little freer with her time. But then the other one got right on. Hey, I'm here too, you know. And the beautiful thing about those kids, they're my twins and my son Sam, who you've all met, Sam the leprechaun. They're all from my first marriage, and then Rainey and I got married. We had our 3 kids, but those girls and my son, they don't see any distinction in 2 different moms.
Yeah,
really. It's their brother and sisters, and they're all brothers and sisters, and they all call each other all the time. My 2 daughters and my son too. They're constantly calling Abby and Bryn. The little one constantly calling them. I said, you got it. Remember, they work during the day, guys. But they talk all the time. And so I love that about my kids. And they're that way with me whenever I need it. They're my daughters, my older ones, they grew up beautiful young women. I'm not just saying that from a dad point of view. They're I lost somebody. Carlene. They're beautiful kids. They've got a business, the Mermaid Tail business. They're in their 11th year. They are probably, I say this, they're the millionaires in the family. They've done very well for themselves. They're very creative,
Mhm.
but they're not assholes. They like people. They have as a tagline for their company, one of their taglines, we make dreams come true. And that's what they do. And they do it for kids. But they were that way in high school. I just told Abby yesterday when we were talking, I said, you guys could have been on the popular, the cheerleaders, all of this, the big popular kids in school. But what did you do? They made friends with people who couldn't make friends very easily. The girl in the wheelchair I mentioned, I didn't remember her name. And I named a couple of kids that they knew. I said, these were all kids that were kind of outcasts, and my daughters befriended them. And they always believed, and I want to believe it's because I taught them that way, is that you put yourself out for people. You make yourself available. And that's what we did. And now their business, they've got it as a tagline. They're very Disney kids. I raised them that way. But
I love Disney.
And they pass that on to everybody. And they're just genuine, loving people. So I got off on a tangent there on my own kids, and I lost Carlene in the process. But hopefully everybody here kind of feels that if you're part of this family, family, quote unquote, our radio family, people get to know each other, and they start talking to each other. So.
That's it. And that's how it works. And I seen Stitch this morning. I'm gonna have to excuse myself here in a minute and fix my coffee.
There he is.
Oh, there you go. Ellery, my youngest.
Different pictures of him on there.
She'd steal that one from you.
I've got two actually. I've got another one out there, blue one or something.
She's a
I've
big
got two.
Stitch fan.
I love Stitch. I love it.
Hey, Douglas Ballos. Good to see you, sir. Who else is in here? Valerie is in here now. Good morning, Val.
I sent Val on the chat.
Kristen Holmes is here. Kendall Blanchard is here this morning. Kendall, how you doing, brother? How's Florida today?
Probably warmer than it is here.
Probably warm. Yeah.
There's Kristen Holmes. I've seen her pop in.
We might be. Hey, Carlene. Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't lose me. My call was coming in. Oh, gotcha.
I was raised to treat everyone.
Kendall says he's sitting on his property in Virginia. I was raised to treat everyone as you want to be treated. There it is.
What part of Virginia is Kendall in? Is he closer to Ken or is he closer to me?
Where in Virginia are you, Kendall? So.
Whereabouts?
Oh, yeah. Valerie says she made a light-up pyramid with Stitch in it.
Oh, I love Stitch.
Floyd County. Floyd County.
I don't know where that is, but maybe a Virginian would.
That's up next to, you got Big Walker Mountain and Little Walker Mountain tunnels that go through Floyd, I think. It's a lot in the mountainous. It's really, really pretty. It's above Marion. You go over, I think I was 77 if I'm right. Am I close, Kendall? Big Walker Mountain and all that stuff.
Population 500, he says.
Yeah. It's very Mayberry-like.
I love Virginia. I really do. I could live in Virginia again.
I tell them, we have a very diverse, what's the word I'm looking for? Terrain and population centers here. You can go. Yes,
221 and 8, he says. Yep. One thing I noticed when I first moved to Virginia, and good God, this is 40 years ago. Doesn't seem that long ago. I was a young adult. I was in my 20s. Moved to Virginia, took an art director job, worked out there. And the one thing I noticed that was different there, up here, we are all black soil. So if you want to go dig in your garden, plant something, put in crops, whatever, you got this thick, rich black soil. Down there, it seemed everywhere I went, it was red clay. We had the first house we had down there was, it didn't have a basement. It was all dug out, but there was no walls, no concrete. And the house was placed on top of that hole, and it was all red clay. And they actually had a washer and dryer down there. We rented the house. And man, if anything ever backed up down there, you just had red all over everything. The red clay. Hey, puppy.
Oh, morning, Marla. How are you? How is she today?
Oh,
Hi, Marla.
she's right up
She's
on top of me.
lovely. She's a good girl.
Such a pretty dog.
She looks after her daddy always.
Yeah.
Hence why we build raised bed gardens, said Kendall.
But even the soul, like I said, the soul is diverse here, and you can go from the Piedmonts. Go lay down.
She said, "I'm trying to on your lap."
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
she'll take a paw and just hooks.
See you, Kendall.
Yeah,
Oh God, she loves licking your face. I know that. Jumps all over you.
she does. Yeah, like I said, everybody knows. Mila knows it. Mila gets what Mila wants here at the house. There's no. Oh, there's Stuart Foley.
Oh, look at that. Here, Valerie, if you're not going to come on, I'm going to take this and I'm going to show it. She just sent me this picture. She
sent me two actually. Yeah, on Facebook. I think I've got them come up on mine as well.
Oh, the
Let me. I'm going to save this image as
Wicked Women.
Save as. Let's see.
I'm not wicked.
No. I'm talking about the show. You got to tune in for.
I know.
Sundays or something is on Sundays. I don't know what time on Sundays. I'm not privy to that information.
I got to save whenever I get a picture and I want to put it up. That's one thing about StreamYard you'll find. If you want to share a photo, you've got to have it in PDF format in order to upload it. So I'm going to save this. I don't need to preserve Photoshop editing. Save.
Save.
Yes. All right, here we go. Let's load it up, and I'll show you what Val just sent me.
I've probably got the same, I expect.
Let's see. Just to pump Val's business a little bit here. This is what she does. I don't know all the ins and outs of what she does here, or what she does, but she showed us some stuff the other day. But this is what Val does, and if you want to talk to her, she will custom make these things for you. And I know she's got some that she makes, and she's got them in stock, but she will custom create things. Let's see, where have I got it? I just saved it in my picture album. I got to scroll down and find it now. Val Stitch. Here we go. All right. Hang on to your butts. It's coming. Hey, Stuart Foley. Stuart, I got to talk to you. I want to find out your take. I have not seen Trek Yards for a couple of weeks. I want your take on Picard and the final season. And
I've got to see that, yeah.
And the final episode.
Oh, lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
nice,
there it is.
Isn't it?
There's Stitch.
Really nice.
Val.
Wow. That's wicked. I like that.
So contact Val,
lovely.
and she will make something up for you. Custom design.
How much would a piece like that cost in U.S., Canadian, and what is it? Yeah. Sterling, pound sterling, U.S. dollars, and Canadian dollar. How much would that be?
Pound sterling? Well, how much?
And that's what I'm saying. What would be the cost on a piece like that? And all the different.
Oh yeah, Val. What would that cost in American dollars?
UK
and
dollars.
If you're comfortable sharing that online, shame on you for not watching Trek Yards, says Stuart. Captain Foley of Trek Yards. Folks, go over to his YouTube page, Trek Yards, and I know Sandra, you would love his site. Go over and check him out, Trek Yards.
I will. One thing I want to say about do you know the original 60s Star Trek?
Yes.
Every time it's always, when they beamed down from the Enterprise and they got to the planet, you always heard this sort of funny sound in the background. It always happened most of the time. I thought that was really weird, like a weird sound in the background, didn't you? I love that because I was looking forward to them
That's
Oh,
the
Being down, stop
1960s
near it.
version of what Other
Yeah.
Planets sounded like.
Yeah, yeah. I used to love the sound when they beamed down to the planet. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she said that a piece like that's $100. It's 6 inches and it lights up.
That's very cool.
Oh wow, sounds good.
I'd like to see that lit up.
Yeah.
Mm,
Plug it in, Valerie. Plug it in.
yeah,
Excuse me. Whew.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
that's okay.
Well, how was
The
the
closest-
lights last night, Scotty? He went to see the Aural or what? I can't even pronounce that word this morning. It's too early. I don't have enough caffeine in me. The lights. Well,
Northern Lights.
yeah,
The Aurora. Northern Lights.
yeah.
We're supposed to have had them over here, but I couldn't see them.
We didn't see him.
Didn't see
We,
him.
No,
my
we didn't.
son and I, after the show last night,
No, we didn't.
when we entered the captain's cabin, it was about 11:10, and Flynn and I drove out about 10 miles north of here, out into the way in the country, and where it was wide open. You could see the sky. Everything was beautiful, crispy, clear stars last night, but we couldn't see any northern lights
Oh,
last night.
No.
They expected it.
No, we couldn't.
So
you need to flip that up our old story. Man, he made a good point. Well, women and men definition of 6 inches is not the same.
that's very true.
And there's a funny story that I will not tell on here that happened to a family member of mine. Oh, I'll tell it. You know,
I'll tell it.
Yeah.
We can talk about that 3-letter word. Don't
Six.
be afraid.
Years ago, when I had a cousin, him and his wife first got married, they was playing garden. You know, when in the UK, when they work in the garden, it's the yard. When we work in the garden here, it's over beside the yard. And so he kept telling her, "Damn it, woman! I told you, plant them 6 inches apart. 6 inches apart." So he went in, cut a stick 6 inches. He said, "No, God damn it! Now that is 6 inches." She said, "You lying bastard." Yeah. But anyway,
Nice.
no, in the Intrepid Radio program. Oh, where are you? Oh, was that?
Val sent to me an image just now of one of them that was lit up. And I can maybe save that one and show you that one as well. Val, why don't you just come on? Come on and show us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I could see you guys, but I can't see the comments. It says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. That's all I've got on my screen. But I can't see any comments that come up.
You
at all.
can see on the laptop.
Whatsoever.
You see it over to the right if you're looking head on.
Yeah, because I got just a normal mobile phone. Well, 4G mobile phone. Yeah, got my phone. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I haven't got a laptop.
The StreamYard is a whole lot different on the phone than it is on the. Because, like I said, I got it to work one night on Scotty show. Then the next day it wouldn't work on Rich and Pond, and finally I figured it out. Because you got to shut everything down on the background.
Oh, they've been sold, she said.
Well, they have been sold.
It's got that. I'm going to do a little personal plugging here because I just had a message pop up in front of my face, and I clicked on it. It's about orders for books, but I'm going to paste a link for those of you who haven't seen it or would like to see it. My book, The Sword and the Clay, that I wrote this and illustrated it. And
Scotty, I want to fix a cup of coffee real quick.
You go right ahead. So you can go get this book over at theswordintheclay.com. And it's fully illustrated. This is one that's got to go out. So it's already autographed. But if you haven't seen this, I've got videos up on my YouTube of this book, reading segments of the book and so on and so on and so on. So if you want to read, I think, a really good book, because I wrote it,
Yes.
The Sword and the Clay.
It is.
So go check it out. Here's some of the illustration work. So
They're very good. Very
so
good.
this is
one thing I can't do is draw. I'm terrible.
I love drawing. I've always drawn. That's what I've done for a career for the last 40 years.
That's good.
And
that's one thing. So Marla just sat. Michael's dog just sat in the couch and you can't see her now. She just sat up and then went down.
I have it right here, and I
Oh, you
don't.
can see her.
My book was based on the story of Will Bird, who was a real guy, true story.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He wrote his memoirs of World War One,
Oh.
and told the story of how the ghost of his brother woke him up, took his hands and pulled him to his feet and said, "Follow me." And he followed him through the trenches and ended up so tired he fell asleep with his gear on, leaning against the wall of the tunnel. And he wakes up later when somebody wakes him up and says, "We thought you were dead. The trench he was in was bombed, and everybody in it died, but his brother saved his life." And he wrote his memoirs of the war, was called, and it's considered to be one of the better memoirs of the war. It's called "Ghosts Have Warm Hands," is the title of his memoirs. And he's talking about his brother, who the warm hands grabbed his hands and picked him up to his feet. But he also found an old Roman sword in the mud and clay in the trenches. He brought that home in his pack, and he brought it to the experts, and they said, "This is a 2,000-year-old gladius, and the place you found it, Amiens, France, that was old Samara Breva during Caesar's Gallic Wars." And that sword was more than likely, 99.99% chance was used in the Gallic Wars, because it was right there on the site of big battles. And so that sits in the museum today in Nova Scotia. So what I did with this book, I created, I told Will Bird's story, but then I created this character right here who's on the cover. He's a fictional character, but the guy who would have been the owner of the sword, Mario Abruzzo, and his two
Good
brothers.
Roman name. Good Roman name, that. My grandfather was in there. My grandfather was in the trenches in World War One. He got gassed, actually, my grandfather. He survived, but he saw his best friend get killed next to him in the trenches. And then later on in life, he used to have like horrible nightmares. And he used to wake up from his nightmare and call his friend's name out, because they were so close. But so that was one thing. And my other granddad used to be in the First World War as well. My mum's and my dad's fathers. My dad's dad used to look after the horses. I think it was those big shy horses they had in the war. And I lost two uncles. In World War II as well. They're both buried in Belgium. They were one in the RAF. My Uncle Bill was in the RAF. My Uncle Sid was in the army, and they both got killed in World War II. And they're both buried in Germany. Not Germany, Belgium.
Belgium.
But people forget how hard of a fight that the English people had, because Hitler was determined to make England a stepping stone. That's when they came to the Battle of Britain, because he said something another. I forget what it was, but something. It was almost like he compared himself to a Roman or something other. He's like, we'll take care of these people. But they right there tell you how much resolve these people had to keep their little islands safe. What?
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say about? Rapid Dog said he's sitting in Nova Scotia right now. Rapid, do you live in Nova Scotia, or are you just visiting right now? And
Rapid Dog.
If you live there, take some time and go find the museum. I'm trying to think of what museum where that sits now off the top of my head, and I can't think of it. It's a military museum in Nova Scotia. That's all I know. And the sword that he found is there. And I did an illustration of the sword as he found it. This is toward the end of the book, but that's the corroded sword that he found in the clay. And then that's what it would have looked like, kind of shadowed up above it. The Roman gladius. And so was after the bombing of Amiens, France, that he found that. They were walking through the trenches, and then I'll just show you the final picture. This is more fanciful, but I've got Will Byrd in his kilt. He is 42nd, and I've got him with the sword, presenting it to Marius Abruzzo, just symbolically. It's like afterlife picture, it's supposed to be, and so
good illustrations. Oh, amazing! Amazing illustrations, really good.
Why, thank you. It's what I do.
I did at school. I did a drawing years ago at school, and it was supposed to be a horse, but it looked like a dinosaur. I wasn't very good at all at art at school.
Dinosaur you drew. Is that a brontosaurus?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a horse.
It's a painted pony.
It's terrible. Yeah, never mind.
Any of his books, any of his, you can get a hold of Scotty, PM him, say, hey, I like this book, and he could probably get you a copy of it, and y'all can work out the price. But his books are still print. What is it? Tam O'Hare, the rabbit.
Tam O'Hare. Yeah,
you can still get Tam O'Hare. The
Nephilim. I got one of those sitting here.
Reptilian. Yeah, Tam O'Hare.
To somebody, but this was Tam O'Hare. This was my first published book. Now, I published comic books back in the 80s. Yeah. This was my first published book. It was 2008. And I wrote and illustrated this one too. The Rollicking Adventures of Tam O'Hare.
Tam O'Hare.
And they printed this all in black and white. The publisher did. So I bought the rights from a small publisher.
Sounds Scottish.
He's Irish. So
is he? Sorry.
There he is with Queen Elizabeth on the deck of the ship.
Oh.
So that kind of.
Oh, okay.
And it's set in real history, but it's a fanciful story, obviously, told anthropomorphized through animals. And right smack in the middle of the conflict between Queen Elizabeth and Mary Queen of Scots is when it takes place. So. But that was my first published book. And so I bought the rights and I re-released it in color myself. So, hi, Paige Rockwell, soiree. Good to see you this morning. I hope the soiree is still valid. You don't have it on your name now.
Did you see Carlene said mosquitoes are our biggest hummingbirds? I don't know where Carlene is, but I don't want to go there if the mosquitoes are that big.
Yeah, that's like Minnesota, Wisconsin. That's our. We said in Minnesota, we said we're gonna change it from the loon to the mosquito being our state bird.
Yes.
So
I've got pigeons living next to me.
Extended periods of rain mixed with extended periods of drought. You'd think those two, they juxtapose each other, but. You say, Rapid, that Nova Scotia has a hidden history. What's the hidden history? You can come on. You can call in and talk to us. By the way, if anybody wants to call in and you don't know how, I'll paste the link right here. Boom and boom. All you got to do is click on that link, and you'll show up right here in the studio, and I can bring you on. So.
Our neighbours next door have got white pigeons. He keeps them in the garden. Looks after them very well. They're not like the normal London pigeons that you see. He looks after them really well. They're not racing ones, I don't think.
Pigeon.
Homing pigeons, they're called.
Pigeon. Souffle.
Yeah.
Pigeon.
I wouldn't eat pigeon.
Fried
no.
Pigeon. Breaded pigeon. Pigeon pudding.
Chicken. Yeah. Turkey. Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you eat a pigeon? It's a bird. It'd be just like a grouse.
I think.
No. Yeah, well, I'm used to seeing pigeons around me too much. That's what it is.
Henry
and they're so cute.
Right.
They're so cute, the ones next door. Yeah.
He's talking about Henry Sinclair and the Templars.
Right now.
Up in Nova Scotia.
Behave, Marla. Otherwise, you won't get your monkey chomps. They're on the way. They're on their way.
They say you got to be a good girl if you want a treat.
Yes. That's what I say to Maya. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Carlene hit it on the head last night. She wanted her 5 minutes of camera time when she demanded her camera time. She's like, oh, everybody tuned in just to see me. I wish I'd just be quiet so they could admire how pretty of a dog I am. Just like. But no, like I said the other day when Scotty was doing the thing, you know, she's sitting there turning, being all cute. Then I was talking to him later after the show on the phone, and he tried it again. She just looked at him like, I don't have an audience here. I don't give nothing away for free. I told her,
Rabid Dog says, Holy Blood, Holy Grail. I've got that book on one of the shelves around here. It's a good place to start. Yeah, that was a very good book. I enjoy that. You know, it gets poo-pooed. It's got its critics, but who cares?
Everybody's always a critic of something anymore. Everybody's an expert. You know.
Yeah, they think they know everything, but they don't.
So how many books?
That's okay, Paige Rockwell. I understand that. My wife said if we were to get married all over again, she said I'd probably hyphenate our last names or just keep my last name. But I like her name. She was an Olsen, so she was Rainey Olsen, and we got married, and she just automatically took my name. It didn't even get discussed. I mean, that's a thing of discussion nowadays. So she's raising our girls, telling them, you know, you don't have to take a man's name if you get married. That's kind of a hangover from olden days where women were chattel and property and so on. You had to pay dowries and all of that. You know, I own you now. You take my name.
I've still got my married name, my Saunders. That's my ex-husband's name.
But
So
Rainey
I've
liked
kept
the name. Rainey Roberts. It's got a nice ring to it. I said you should be an author, and she should.
You know, if you had an ugly daughter, you had a bigger dowry to get rid of her.
Yeah.
It's like, but what do you mean? Can you throw in 2 goats and an extra pig?
Yes.
It's like
camels and goats and
all this. Yeah.
You know, brontosauruses, which apparently Sandra draws great pictures of brontosauruses.
So what's the weather like today in the UK? Y'all still have rain?
Oh no, it's not too bad today. It's nice and sunny. We had rain yesterday. It was horrible yesterday, but the sun is out and it's warmer. It's getting warmer now, a little bit more.
I figured out a new saying the other day. Somebody had to go back out. Wendy, she said, I got to go back out. It is cold and it is just pissing outside. I thought,
yeah,
that is a whole new way to describe the weather. Cold.
And God, yeah.
I'm like, wow. But you know, now
that's one of the words we use over here when it rains a lot. Yeah, I don't use it a lot.
I thought that was for drinking too much. I'm pissed today.
Oh yeah, that's another way. That's another term for getting drunk.
Yeah.
Plastered. That's another word we use over here. Someone's drunk. He was plastered. That's another word.
Yeah, we've used that. Hammered.
So
I merely play the inebriate. So
yeah, my mom, she used to tell me I come in beating better. She said, "You got a UDI." I said, "What the hell's a UDI? Unidentified drinking injury."
There it is.
Yeah, it's it. And you know, that's part of growing up and growing old is, you know, you do have the unidentified drinking injuries, and you look for your car, and it's like, where the hell did that go?
There you go, Paige Rockwell. She said, I just prefer my name to his. So she goes by Paige Rockwell, and she says, it's not an issue. I just do as I choose. Boom.
Hey, so was so did Norman. You know what I'm saying? And he made a lot of them. The Rockwell paintings was, you know, he's the one who Coca-Cola paid, and that is the whole image.
Are you a shirt tail relative to Norman Rockwell or a direct descendant, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, but he gave us the modern, whatever image of Santa Claus, the way he painted for the calendars and stuff.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that did that. Yep. Yeah. And, you know, something that was neat to learn about him, as you can tell by his paintings, he used photo references for his work. People think because you're an artist and you paint well or draw well, that all comes out of your head. Not always. Sometimes I have to sit in front of a mirror and I have to do a pose. I got to go, okay, what's that look like? And then I draw that. I want his hand. He's going, you know, all of that back there. And, you know, and so you draw that, or expressions. And even if I'm drawing a beautiful woman, I got to go, okay, what's the face do? What do the muscles do? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, Doug Ballos. He says it's 82 degrees in Daytona. Well,
Just
nice.
Yeah, just brag.
That
Yeah.
sounds
We
nice. I
had
like that.
upper 80s
Yeah,
and
sounds
90s
nice.
in Minnesota and Wisconsin last week.
Yeah.
So, well, 10 days
Sounds
ago.
nice.
You know, if I was better looking and still had my military bod, I'd do some nude modeling. You know what?
Nude modeling?
What?
Did you say?
What did you say?
I said,
Nude modeling.
Oh,
Uh,
you
I said,
perked
oh,
Saunders' interest there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I said, if I still had my boyish good looks and my military bod, I did nude modeling for these. I'd be like, okay, here we go. But them days of sadly,
Show off.
yeah, them
You're
days.
just a show off, Michael.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You
You're not.
know, and don't even talk to me about past body shape. You know, I've had my
Oh,
really fat
yeah.
days. I've had my out of shape days. I've had my weightlifting days back in my 20s and my 30s. And
Mhm.
and now I've got my old man bod.
Yeah,
So
that's just it. Yeah.
I
I've
suppose
never been. Yeah, I've never been skinny. I've
I
never been
suppose
skinny.
as you get older, you can do with your body whatever you want to do, whatever you have the discipline to do, whatever you have the desire to do.
Yeah.
Um, I found that when I worked out, when I met Rainey, I was in probably the best shape of my life. I was in my early 40s, and I biked every day, 6 to 12 miles a day, depending on if I did the course twice. And
Jeez.
I ate a little better, and
Mm.
not as much junk food and pastries and stuff, and I lifted weights. And back in those days, you know, I was 50 pounds lighter than I am now. And of course, this is 18 years of being together with one woman. So, but you can do. I found that when I started biking, it was a drudgery the first couple of times. After about a week of forcing myself to get out every morning, I didn't care if it was raining, if it was sunny, if it was whatever, I was going to get out and bike my course. And it started with a 6-mile course. And it got to the place where I wouldn't miss a day. And because I didn't want to. And you start getting in that mode of wanting to do it. I started seeing results almost immediately. I was a little heavier when I started. And I remember I started in March of that year, 2005. And I started biking. And by June, March, April to May, May to June, 3 months, I had dropped 70 pounds. I had started up right around 276, and I was right down about 205, and had tightened up. And 276 for me I'm 255 now, so I'm 20 points off from my heaviest. But I tightened up, shrank my stomach because I ate better, and of course, I was a single guy back then, too. I had sole custody of my kids, but I was a single dude, so I'd make chicken and vegetables for the big meal, and I'd get rice cakes, and I'd go down to the health food store and get raw honey and spun honey, so it was the creamy colored honey, and I would eat that, and that's basically all I ate was that kind of stuff. And so if you want to, you get Grumpy Stack's the guy to talk to about it. He said I was 450 pounds, and now he's 175. So,
but
he's 80 pounds lighter than me.
Wow.
Yeah, rice does not belong in cakes.
Of course, Grumpy's only 3'9", so
I know what you mean. Yeah, they're those round things, rice cakes. I know what ones you mean.
Yeah. Rice and cake.
Rice cake. It's like
you should not use rice and cake in the same.
They're very light, aren't they? They're very light in weight as well. They're white.
So I think Grumpy Stack's probably a pretty good example of when you want to do it, you do it. You make the time to do it. I remember in his walking stage, he'd get out and walk every day. And he did rain or shine. He said, if I don't, my mentality at the time I was biking was if I miss a day, then I can excuse the next day too. and eventually you're not doing it at all again, or you lose that grip on. I'm going to be in control of the way my body shapes. So, 3 foot 9.25 says Grumpy Stack. Sorry, brother. I made you shorter than you were. So,
but it goes back to discipline, and that's like, I was talking to Wendy, and she's like, why don't you work out every day? And I said, I did that for a long, long time, 6 days a week. Every other day was a run day, and every other day was a muscle failure day. And it was just, it consumes your life. And it's like 4:30, you're out about 5 o'clock in the morning. You're back taking a shower at 7. It's like,
so,
but even during them days, with the alcohol stuff like it, the next morning it smelled like a leftover bar in formation. Everybody running is like, you sweating that stuff out. It's like, yeah. It's like, Lord, but no, it's all about dedication.
I had biked one other time like that in my life, a period of time. It was when my ex-wife was pregnant with my twin daughters. So you're talking 32 years ago now. But I would get out, and it was in Detroit, and I had the same kind of course laid out, about 6 miles, and I'd just get out every morning, and there were some nasty hills. Oh my God. Busy roads, nasty hills, traffic.
Yeah.
But there were some of those. What I would do is I'd set my bike on the highest gear, or is it the lowest gear, the hardest pedaling, when I would go up those hills, because, and I'm sometimes, you're almost standing in your pedals, and you're just, I must be going a half a mile an hour. But I said, I will not take the easy way out on this. I'm going to crank it up, and I'm going to go. And I did it. And I did that when I was 31, and I was in, probably better shape then than I was when I was in my 40s. There's Grumpy.
How's it
Hi,
going?
Grumpy.
You're doing, Grumpy.
Hiya, Grumpy.
How's it going?
How's it going?
It's all right.
I'm trying to get the audio right for myself.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go in and swipe up. If you're on your phone, you gotta
Yeah, you can hear me, but I can't hear y'all. I can hear you, but I gotta turn everything off.
Paige asks, where's KB today? Now, I don't know anything about this, but Michael, you told me yesterday that he had to go to the ER or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
What's he doing this morning?
He's had a
Bigfoot. He
what?
what?
Yeah. He had a PET scan this morning, or what?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because you texted me yesterday, and I didn't hear back from you to see how he was. So I hope he's all right.
You saw my Bigfoot?
Saw your Bigfoot.
I love Bigfoot. And get me on Bigfoot.
Saunders a big Bigfoot. A big Bigfoot.
A
big Sasquatch.
Yeah, she saw Bigfoot riding Nessie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the 6 foot Bigfoot to put on the side of my building.
A mural?
Oh yeah.
They have the tin cutouts.
You can screw into the side of your building, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, a cutout. Yeah.
I would ask a good friend of mine to do a mural on the side of my building, but then I have to pay for plane tickets and to feed the guy, and there won't be enough in the coffers. A new
set of tires, or So, yeah, I wish we were closer. I'd come over and paint a big Sasquatch on your building.
Oh.
So,
how about Dogman?
The Grumpy Stack Tires
That's
Company
another one.
building.
Oh,
says Field Guy.
Oh, cryptids. I like most. You ever watch Skinwalker Ranch? I love that.
Yes.
I've been watching that. Blaze channel over in England. I've watched it. I watched it last night.
That's a very interesting place.
I love that. Yeah.
And,
love to go there. It's in Utah, isn't it?
Yeah. That guy said, I'm selling the ranch. I've been fighting and killing aliens for 30 years. I'm tired. I want to sell out.
Yeah.
Steph Cuervo Queen just sent me a photo. Oh, am I supposed
Uh-oh.
to share that, Steph? Oh,
Steph, send me one.
well, you look pretty good in. No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to joke.
Yeah.
I was going to joke. I was going to make a sexual joke, a
Don't
sexually
make. Don't
charged
send me one.
joke.
Don't send me one. I don't want one.
Pretty good. Here. No, but it's Bigfoot. We're
I
riding
don't
the
want to offend Steph, you know.
through the lock.
Scotty, it
Yes,
take
sir.
a lot to offend Steph.
Yeah, I figured.
It's my big foot. Oh, yeah. Hey, Scotty might have a foot fetish. You never know.
A Bigfoot fetish. Here, I'm getting this. I'm just prepping this photo. All the photos that I have, if you put them up on StreamYard, you got to convert them into PDFs first. So I can't just throw up a JPEG or anything like that. So I just converted this picture over that Steph sent me. Steph, is this from your own front yard? Oh yeah, she says, LOL, it's my Bigfoot. You can call it whatever you want.
Oh,
Let's see. Let me find the file. Oh my God, what did you send me a picture of? That's my Sasquatch. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Let's see, where'd it go? Steph. There it is.
I thought that went out in the 70s.
Bigfoot?
No, the Sasquatch pics.
Oh yeah, Sasquatch pics. Yeah.
So it looked like Chewbacca in a headlock.
Oh, I love Chewbacca. It's the only thing I like about Star Wars is Chewbacca. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like the noise he makes. Makes that noise. I
go.
love it.
This is Steph's Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, in her front yard. Boom.
Wow.
Yes, that's the one I want.
I like Sasquatch's politics.
Oh, I love that.
Know your parasites.
That's awesome, Steph. Brilliant. Thumbs up. Really good. Like
From
that.
her front yard, says Paige Rockwell. Oh, you're all in tune this morning. There's a visual of Grumpy Stack's product line. There you go.
Tires.
Oh no, that's a ceiling fan. No, that's a tire.
That's a tire. Yeah.
I thought it was a tire at first. So anyway, that's a great looking Sasquatch you got there,
That's
Steph.
brilliant. I like that.
In your front yard.
I like it. All right.
And by the way, folks, if you came here for intelligent talk this morning, it's not what we're doing. It's just coffee talk.
Yeah.
Morning coffee with KB. The castle by the roadside. Don't be afeard.
Don't be afeard. Don't be afeard.
It's squatchy. Yeah. It's cool now. Retro. There he is.
Yeah.
And of course, I have my, as you all know, I've got my my Squatch footprint back here. There he is.
Damn. Grumpy looks like he's got a flat.
It's a tire. Oh, it does look flat. Oh, that's good. I like that.
So, this was a casting of a casting that a Squatch guy gave me at one of the events about 12 years ago. He gave me this thing, but you can see a lot more detail when you see it up close. You know, there's some detail and ridges.
Yeah.
And my wife spilled ink on it.
Oh.
Tattoo ink. And so I've been step by step. It's got about 3 coats of white on top of it to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, but there you go. I'll put that back when I have
good.
time to set it right.
Yeah.
So that's my Squatch foot.
Squatch
Look
foot.
who's here. Wenchy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the power I have. I can see her out there. Oh, look, she's just sitting out there in the wings. Boom.
There she is.
Oh my
Oh, here she
God.
comes. There she
Take
is.
as much power as you want back, because you know You know, I'll get my own back on you.
That's right. That's right. She will.
Ouch.
There's
How are you?
Marla.
All right.
So far, so good.
How's everyone doing today?
Not too bad,
Not
thank you.
bad.
You see this vicious dog attack?
I
quit
can
I
see
rubbing.
see
that.
that.
I quit petting, so then she had to smack me with her paw.
I can't see it very well on here because it's like through streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that earlier on, Scotty. Didn't have many clothes on. Didn't want to like give you a shock.
You were talking to Michael.
Oh,
That was okay, though.
he's used to all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not afeared. I'm not afeared.
He's not
Michael's not
afeared.
afeared.
I was just going to say we need to chat later on because about tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We haven't had
And,
that conversation
lost
yet.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
Shush.
You know, I was trying to explain to somebody. They said, "Well, what was the latest show about?" I said, "It's the last woman that was hung in Britain."
It was, yeah.
And they said, "Why are they hanging women in Britain for?" I said, "Because she shot a dude 5 times at point blank range."
Yeah.
He
That's
did
right.
it well. Yeah.
I said, she wasn't afeared either. You know, she emptied
Apparently
the gun,
not.
and everybody's like, "Well, that was horrible." I said, "Well, she probably thought it was pretty horrible too when they hung her. You know, she probably wasn't a fan."
Yeah. Yeah.
And but you know,
Well, all of you talk for a minute. I'm going to go refill my
Oh,
coffee.
he's gonna
Refill your cup.
coffee.
Yeah. I don't need a commercial break yet. I just need to refill my coffee.
Hey,
I'll be right back.
I can handle the English women, Scotty. You go do you. But no,
I'm getting abuse here from Henry because he just wants the biscuits. No,
Oh yeah.
he's
Probably.
we see
like
my-
yesterday with the show. When I
I'll
was
teach
in
that on then, Wendy. Oh, where is
What's
it?
that?
Which
What
one?
is it?
My German Shepherd.
Aww.
Yeah, German
That's
Shepherd on there.
Look, I'm getting the grief. Here he is. Look.
Oh yes, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
He's getting
He's
grief.
so lovely.
He is a sweetie. He just the gas man just came around to do all the repairs and stuff, and he was like, normally he attacks them and goes, you know, and Scotty was saying like, what is that noise? It sounds like a rooster, and I was like, well, that's Henry, and then he all of a sudden he went down and he was like, this is cool. This is cool. You're all right. I'll let you in, but yeah. How's your mum doing?
She's not bad. Yeah, she's watching I think it's Lingo on at the moment. She watches Lingo and then Tipping Point, then the Chinese song.
My mum's favourites.
So, on there.
My mum loves to watch Mrs. Bouquet and
oh, I know what you mean.
And what was the other one? Keeping Up Appearances.
Yeah.
What's that one? The really long one that's been going for years, and they had all the compo and everything in it.
Last of Summer Wine.
Yeah,
that was the other one. Yeah,
that, and she likes to watch loads of westerns because my stepdad used to like westerns.
I love westerns. My brother hates westerns. He'd rather watch a war film, but I prefer westerns. I love a western.
My mum loves westerns. She absolutely does. I just got to say hi to Val because my fellow WW is in here.
Yeah.
Woman.
And Elvis is in the building.
Hi Elvis, how you doing? We're all shook up.
But y'all have, like who was it that said that we're two common people separated by a common language? I think it was Uncle Dave or something said that.
Yeah, it was Dave. It was Dave.
But even the TV shows, you know what I'm saying? Because I know sometimes even the soap operas, you see the soap operas here came on through the day, and the soap operas there come on at night or whatever. There's the one that
I only watched one. Emmerdale. It's the only one I watch.
See, I don't watch any now. In younger, I loved Dallas and Dynasty and Falcon Crest and Not Slandering and all those.
Who shot
Dynasty?
I used to love all them.
We didn't miss you.
What?
Nothing.
Big TV trivia guy like me. Who shot JR?
Kurt.
It was that one chick.
Curse.
I can't think of which one it was.
Sue
It was a cave, isn't it? Was it?
I can't
Was
remember.
it someone? Was her name begin with a K? Kirsty or something, or Kirsten or something?
In what? In what?
In Dallas. Shot JR.
Kirsten Shepherd, wasn't it? Kirsten
Yeah,
Shepherd.
Yeah.
That's it. I know it began with a K.
I
love Dallas. It was brilliant. That's what made me want to go and live in Texas. Looks
I
really
was in college, and we would come home every weekend from college and
Well, I
watch.
fancied Bobby Ewing. That's why I watched it. I love Bobby Ewing.
Bobby Ewing was cute, but Gary was the one that I liked. Gary Ewing.
Oh, in Knots Landing.
Yeah.
Was he in Knots Landing? Yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
And I normally like Tall Dark, right? But Gary was hot. He used to. He was always using the gym in it, and you were like, "Oh, that man is fat as hell."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Elvis is in the building. Good to see you, Elvis.
Gary was.
I used to like Man from Atlantis. I used to like him in that. Bobby,
God, that was on the
Patrick Duffy.
Patrick Duffy. Wasn't he also the man from Atlantis?
From Atlantis.
Right, yeah.
Different sci-fi series.
Yeah, I love that series.
And because Larry Hagman was so cool because he was in I Dream of Jeannie first.
Oh, Larry Hagman,
yeah.
And she actually appeared in Dallas later on, but then it used to be like, did you like Dynasty or did you like Dallas? Yeah. And I liked them both, but Dallas was my favorite.
So favorite, yeah.
We
South Ranch.
I saw Larry Hagman in an interview, even years after Dallas, and he said something about, he says they were talking about I Dream of Jeannie. He says, he says, always wanted to do a porno version of I Dream of Jeannie. And they were all goats, all those guys. Larry Hagman. Who else was Bob Crane, who got brutally murdered, but who played Hogan in Hogan's Heroes.
He was making all big films back when you had to when you had to steal all the production cameras and bring it in and have a crew of 40 people to do it at home.
Right.
It wasn't like shooting it off your phone anymore, but
right. Yeah. Your phone porn.
He was dedicated to his craft. He borrowed all the cameras from the studios and
right.
Yeah, he was very. So
what are you thinking about, Wendy?
Oh, that's
miles away.
What are you thinking about? You're just
I was actually thinking about how different British soaps are to American, because British soaps are always fantasy and sex appeal and gorgeous, and British soaps are always depressing and basic and gritty, and someone's getting murdered or killed or raped or they died of a drugs overdose.
Right.
I'm like, that's why I stopped watching it.
Car accident.
I stopped watching EastEnders. I stopped watching Emmerdale. I stopped watching Coronation Street, and none of them. And I miss those days of Dallas and Dynasty, because for an hour, it took you somewhere else, and you didn't have to think about it.
Right.
Where the ones over here are just so depressing, really depressing.
Yeah.
So there's only one I watched. That's it.
And Neighbours, they got rid of Neighbours as well. Neighbours is gone, although I think it's coming back on Amazon, right? But
I used to watch Home and Away. Home and Away I liked. I used to always watch Home and Away at one stage,
Did I
when it first came out.
Now, what do you qualify as a soap? Because now, like when Dallas came out here in Dynasty, when those came out here, I'm not really making fun of your accent. I'm just trying
Dynasty.
to be British.
You mean Dynasty?
Dynasty. Come on.
But listen, Joan Collins.
Right.
Before Joan Collins went to Dynasty, it wasn't great. But when Joan Collins went on there, she was so good, and she was a woman of power, the first woman of power that had really been and kicked ass in a soap, and it got so much better after that. And
those are the shows they created the nighttime or primetime soaps is what they called them. They were we just saw them as drama series.
Did you ever seen Joan Collins in The Stud?
In the what?
I never watched that.
Did you never see it? Oh my God, Joan Collins. Jackie
Collins'
sister. she wrote like great novels, like all sexy novels, but they're all
She
great.
did,
And as a young girl, like you used to read Jackie Collins because you'd learn a lot from her, right?
Yeah.
And then her
I
sister
didn't.
said, why don't you make, why don't you write this character? And she wrote it, and she said, I want to portray her. So she portrayed the character, and it was called The Stud, and she had loads of sex scenes in it. And I think it was a guy called Oliver Tobias, and she was 46 at the time, 46, 47, and it was the first time a woman of that age had actually been in a soft porn, but professional soft porn show. And it was brilliant. And it was like, I take my hat off to Joan Collins. I think she's brilliant. And she's been really good for the women movement in the UK anyway, to show us that you can be powerful and have a family and have a job and do everything as well and look fabulous. Although she's not had loads of work done as well. She's aged really gracefully.
It's like I said in the show last night, I am greatness. You have to say to yourself, I am greatness, and everybody else can realize that I am greatness.
It's where you look to the camera, Scotty. It's that kind of
I am greatness.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I did these affirmator cards with the bunny rabbit riding the unicorn leaping over the rainbow.
As they do.
It says 50 affirmation cards to help you help yourself without the self-helpiness. So they're a little tongue in cheek and all that, but it was the one I read.
My actual nickname is Winchy, Val. That is my nickname. That's why I've actually come in under Wicked Women's account. So I thought it was only appropriate I put my nickname down, which is Winchy. So yes, I did come in as that. Everybody else, I mean, Sandra's still got Britannia. Rock on, girl. She's still using that name. And obviously, I'd like
to be Marilyn, actually, because I'm a big fan of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah,
you can change it to whatever you like, hon.
Yeah, Marilyn, that's my heroine. I love her. She's my favorite.
Last night, it's a card about your ideal partnerships.
Ooh.
And it says here on the card, I am a rare and precious find. And my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I'm paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness. I'm not going to answer that.
Somebody wants you.
I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. So remember that. I am greatness.
Well, I mean, why don't we have a bit of fun and see what our horoscope says today for each one of us, right? Because that would be interesting. Let me see. Let me just dig it up. And
dig it up there, Wendy.
Scotty, you're a saggy, aren't you?
I am. Although I use the soft G. Sag.
Yes. Saggy, hairy ass. Let me see what it says for the sags.
All right.
This is coming via courtesy of the Daily Mail.
Oh, Daily Mail horoscope.
It says, saggies, shoulders back, chin up, stand up straight, and carry yourself with pride. Recent experiences might have taken a lot out of you, but you've handled them with skill. You might not have achieved the perfect outcome, but you can appreciate the lessons you've learned. That's a sign of the true strength in character. To make the most of it, you need to act with confidence. That means finding a way to stop doubting yourself. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and grow. Representing your love life, financial prospects, and overall life path as lines move through time, you now have a GPS for your soul, guiding you through life's up and downs. So go explore the limitless possibilities of your future.
Wow, that's a long horoscope. Over here, they're like 2 sentences. Yeah, it's been a shitty few days. So, but I face it with knowing I'm greatness.
So then we'll go to Gemini for the old sex kitten over there. Like, and it says Gemini or Gemini.
We're talking to Sandra or Michael?
Well, I
No,
was
I'm not the
actually-
sex kitten. Definitely not.
Oh, okay.
Far from it, Scotty. Far from it.
Although all superheroes are cool, there's a reason why Batman's appeal is so universal. He's just a regular guy who makes extraordinary things happen. There's no spider's bite, no alien superpower involved, no injection of top medicine. Instead, he controls his fear of bats and uses it as his strength.
And he's a billionaire. That helps.
The best way to harness your superhero strength is to recognize that you're wearing your heart on your sleeve is all the armor that you'll ever need. Being aware of your vulnerabilities will make you more powerful today. Embark on a journey of new self-discovery and growth. And that was it. That was yours.
Wow, Michael.
There you go.
What do you
I
use?
used to tell him sometimes the S on my stick, that's where coming from the military background. I told him, I said, everybody thinks we wear an S on our chest for an S on our chest for Superman. I said, sometimes that S stands for stupid. Sometimes that is, hey, I need you to go do that, and it might not be the best idea, but you're like, oh, okay, sounds fun.
What's that?
All right. Continue.
Sounds like a truck backing up.
What the hell is that?
What's that for you, Sandra?
Libra.
Libra. Okay, let's have a look for Libra. Okay. Okay. Back in the 1960s, a young researcher was trying to date trees in the United States, and he ran into problems. Determined to get the data he wanted, he got permission to put down one big specimen known as Prometheus. It was only when he'd cut it down that he realized he'd destroyed the world's oldest living organism, which just goes to show we don't always appreciate what we've got until it's gone. So today, check what you're searching for and what is the most valuable thing to you, and make sure you keep it safe to you when you embark. Yet again, this is the word he's using for everyone. When you embark on a journey of self-discovery. That is yours for today.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Whatever that means, right? Ever that means.
Whatever that means, yeah.
And my one, which is Capricorn. Since there are so many options, it might be easier to look at what's unlikely to happen. You won't find yourself having to make a difficult decision. You won't regret the departure of a problem. You won't be obliged to compromise on an idea you've been working towards. Although the link between your ruler and Saturn might lead you to suspect you face some of the above, you won't. Instead, you've got the insight and resolve to deal with any issues in a satisfying way. Bring them on. Bring them on.
There you go.
Bring them on.
Bring it on.
Bring
Yeah.
it on. So, Scotty, new confidence for you. New confidence.
New confidence for me?
Yeah, that's what it's saying for you today. Go forth
I'm
in
confident.
confidence.
I am greatness.
I am.
So
Do we know how KB's doing today?
I have not heard
Okay.
today. I don't know
No.
if Michael talked to him this morning earlier or not.
Yeah, because Michael texted me last night about KB, and I said, well, keep me posted. So,
Yeah, I heard from Val. Val was telling me he wasn't great, and I hate to hear that. He's going
Me
through
too.
enough without having to end up back in bloody casualty.
All
he doesn't
right.
want that. No, he doesn't want that. No,
Well,
definitely not.
I don't know what's worse, an English ER or an American one, because the English ones are not great.
We're not. No,
Yeah.
I don't go to hospitals if I can help it.
But no, but apart from that, Scotty, you're doing a fabulous job. I've been watching on and off and
Oh,
catching
yeah.
up with the chat.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
all
trying to
right.
read-
Well, we
Yeah.
renamed
Mine-
Michael. So
Thanks, kitten.
Yeah.
Quincy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't know you could do that until yesterday. And now, like, I put Robertson when I come on with mine, and obviously yours is Roberts, but it's like, I didn't know you could do that. It's so much fun. He's going to rename
it
mine.
is.
Well.
It is.
Come on, Scotty.
You,
I know you're thinking about it.
Thinking
You're
about
captain
what?
of the Enterprise, Scotty. You're captain of the Enterprise. You're
Was,
involved.
he changed that.
What am I thinking about? Read my
No,
mind.
how
Robbie.
is
You're one of ours now,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Oh,
He's weighing up.
That'll be quite enough. Is that what you said? That'll be quite enough of that.
That'd be quite enough.
Please.
So say, make it so.
Please.
Make it so. Make it so.
Engage.
Engage.
No,
Let's see what's out there.
No, I know.
That's another one of them.
I had to take that. That was the VA. They're pushing the appointments farther pretty quickly for the implants in my back. So
That's good.
I might be able to sit here without holding a pillow to keep
That'd be
everything
nice.
great. And like I said, I talked to Wendy this morning, and I told her, I said, might just let Scotty have the hand by himself. But but I thought back what you said last night on your show. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, get up, put a shirt on, lace your house shoes up really good and tight, and if you feel what you said. And I drug myself out, and I'm like, yep.
Well, let your yes be yes and your no be no. We were talking about character last night, and it's you say you're going to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
Unless you learn it's a mistake to have made that decision, then you act on character in that regard. But do what you say you're going to do.
I think it was an important note that Chris Conway said on Sunday, and I didn't take much from that, but what I did take from his conversation was what he said about you, because you are exactly the same, in real life as
what
well
did he
as
say about me?
camera.
That I remember.
You are such a good mate and a good friend, and as I said, 20 years we've known each other, and we've laughed and cried and chatted till the sun's come up and the moon's gone down, whatever. We've done it for so long, and very grateful to have you in my life. And you've been through some tough times, and watching you go through them is, when you see a mate go through really tough times, it's really hard, because you can't do much apart from, especially when you're apart, to support. And that's what we're doing with KB right now. We're not there. All we can do is support him.
And that's
all we can do is support him from afar. And you wish you could do something. As well as I do, there is a cure for what he's got out there. But it's repressed because there's no money in cures. There's money in long-term treatments.
That's it.
And you chase the dollar. That's why Rainey sent him some stuff on the dewormer and mushroom stuff that sounds so hokey. It sounds so snake oil salesman. But there was a guy who had exactly what Ken's got. He was given 3 months to live, and that was almost 4 years ago now. And he doesn't have a sign of cancer. He used this treatment, and they attribute it to this whole mushroomy thing and a dewormer stuff. And there are other things that kill.
Graviola. I guess it's a vow to order it from Amazon for him, because graviola, my dad's been taking graviola, the tablets, since when is it? 2016. He's got non-Hodgkin lymphoma. And they said to him, whatever you're doing to fight this cancer, keep taking it. And he swears by dandelion drops and graviola, because every time he goes for his cancer checkup, they're like, this is good. And I said to Ken, order it from Amazon, but I don't know if he's done it yet. I don't know.
There's something that Rainey was telling me about the other day. Some kind of thing that it's external. I don't know if it's like ointment or fruit, rock, vegetable, whatever. You can put it on something, like if you have a growth or something, and you can just put it on there night after night or something like that, and it dissipates. I'm not sure what that was. But it's not very helpful to anybody, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
But even years ago, there's a guy came out with sound treatment that destroyed cancer cells in the body, and that was in the 20s. And they told him, "Oh, you're a snake oil salesman and all this." And it's like, no, because like you said, the money's made in treatment, not cure. And and I try to keep everybody, because I know any information I get that if KB's coming home or whatever, I pass it along, because I know that there's KB right now, the radio family, the YouTube family has gathered around KB to hold him up in his time of need. And like I said, and that's what I tell him. I tell him all the time. I said, you've got a fan club, you're worldwide. You're worldwide. Mr. Fabulous, when he calls him. Mr. Fabulous. And I call him the man, the myth, and the
Fabulous.
legend.
It
You know?
is.
And,
Totally.
and I told
Yeah.
somebody they had watched this show with me, and I told them, you know, KB. They said there ain't no way that he's 70 years old. I said, well, mentally, I said he's a lot younger. I said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I said KB's KB. I
And
said,
70 is the new 50
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the
Yeah.
50? The new 30 or something? I
Yep.
took the appointment making doctor off the phone, and she's like, "Oh yeah,
I still had dark hair when I was 50.
oh,
So
yeah,
go
my hair's
figure.
probably dark. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like I said yesterday, we're all rotting, just at different levels of speed.
You speak for yourself, honey. I'm going to live forever and
There you are.
basically not grow old gracefully at all. Why would I want to? It's like, no. You know, Mother Nature's great in lots of ways, but sometimes it's quite nice to have a bit of science too. Some
It's like,
science.
are you
not
growing
all.
old gracefully? No, I'm not growing old.
No, exactly.
That's what I told him. I want to go into my 80s and 90s, kicking and screaming, raising hell.
That's right.
And
Surrounded by, I always think like, you know, being an older woman surrounded by young men with oiled torsos fanning you and feeding you chocolate. You know, that would be great.
Give me
who
back rub.
was the Egyptian queen that had that? They had the big old,
Exactly. Nefertiti. Was it Nefertiti?
yeah.
Not my sort of thing, I'm afraid.
What, back rubs?
Oh, back rubs.
Oh.
Hey, back rub.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Like, good-looking man and a back rub goes down well.
Yeah.
Hey, hello.
I like a hairy. I like a biker. I like a biker.
Yeah.
Guy, beards and biker.
What the long kind
Not too long, but
Yeah.
you know, I do like a beard. Yeah.
There you go, Mir. I never mind
the
the aging; it's the breaking down part.
Yeah.
So
You are what you are. Age is but a number.
That's what I am. That you. I passed a guy one time. He had this big old long beard, and he's riding his bike, and he had his beard go over his shoulder, and the beard was just around, just kind of over behind his helmet.
Wow.
Like, I'm like,
Somebody's really trying to get a hold of me.
Somebody wants
Same
you.
number. Hold on.
Oh.
I'm gonna go mute for a second. You guys.
You're very popular. That's why.
He is very popular.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what happens when we do the show. And I said to him before we start the show, is your phone turned off? Where are the kids? Like, you know, so it runs smoothly. Otherwise, you keep getting you know, you're just getting into a topic and you've got. Yeah, it's not great.
Again,
please return our call at your earliest convenience.
I like
Thank
myself
you.
better
Have a
each year
wonderful day.
growing into myself.
I can have only got the phone what I'm on now. I haven't got anything
Goodbye.
else. If anyone rings me, I just say delete. You know, they're off.
I like to just, you know, I always get somebody that says things like, there's like a 10-second pause. It's the first clue you're on an auto dial.
Yeah.
And which this call just did. And then they will always say, I am looking for Robert Scott.
Robert Scotty.
I said, well, who's calling him? This is Jeremy from Kansas. And I'm like, yeah, right. Pull this leg and it plays Jingle Bells, Jeremy. I said, what do you need? Oh, I would like to talk. And I say, hold on a second. And I just set the phone down. And I play music and I start talking. Or I give him shit or whatever.
Say, who is this? You just caught an active crime scene.
Yes.
Say, I need
No,
your
but
comment.
isn't it like there was a thing on TikTok and there was like when you get somebody that rings up, you go like pretend you're as like a sex line or something and go hi, you know, and so they go what?
Yeah.
What? And then they just put the phone down and it does work because like
It frightens them.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Frightens them.
And you've got the voice.
That's a good
for it,
idea.
Scotty.
I just say,
Oh.
hello. You're reaching Steven's sex line. What color
reached Scotty's
pants are you
sex
wearing
line.
today?
You have got the voice for it, right? Completely.
I've just peeled my thong off. Would you like to see? You want to hear me describe it to you?
What color have you got on
Do you
today?
like purple?
But
Do you
before,
like
as I
pink?
said, before
What's
we
the
do our
difference
show, I
between
do
pink
say
and purple? Why,
do
it's
say-
the grip.
I was just saying,
yeah,
Scotty, on
you
a
fucked with him.
Tuesday before we do our show and we
Oh,
log on, and
funny.
I'm like, have you turned your phone off? Where are the children? And he's like, do I look all right? And I'm like, you look fabulous. And then he's like, a bit more cleavage. I'm like, a bit more.
Oh yeah, I always tell her. I always tell Wendy, and I'm not being a perv.
No,
I'm
he's
just saying,
not.
you know,
No.
Wendy,
No.
you know what,
Like
you know,
Phil's.
we draw in male callers and listeners because you've got heaving
You've got
great
boobs.
tracts of land. To quote
If
Monty
you got
Python.
male, you got boobs, right?
That's
what is it?
right.
What
And
is
it's all right to
I
look
have.
good. It's all right to look good. Why did God
Why?
give a woman boobs? To show cleavage. Duh.
You know,
Well,
and they
well,
help
men
you
will have a
get
place
Not to
to live.
hide it.
well. They do help you. You know, I've taught Terry, bless his heart, he's not been on here today, but a couple of times when I was on Kenny's show, you know, we've been chatting and Michael and, you know, I chatted about this. Like literally, like Terry was like, I was talking to Terry and he was like, sorry?
Yeah,
And Ken was like, stop looking at her boobs. And it
I
was so
heard that,
funny.
Kenny. He's looking at her boobs, he says.
Yeah, just don't do that. Don't do that. You know, it was
Terry's
so
a good man. I like Terry.
Yeah,
I love
Phil's
Terry.
fine.
Terry's
we're
great.
guys.
Yeah,
We're
he's a nice guy.
fixated by certain things, you know.
That's what I told her. I said, poor Terry. He loses his whole chain of thought. He goes,
What?
Yeah.
It's like, gone. He just out.
Yeah.
But you know, and like I said, Terry don't discuss this much, and I won't put it out there. But you know, Terry's fighting his own issues, and
Yes,
and we need to rally around Terry too. Because
1 minute.
We do. Yeah, we need to. Terry, we love you, and we haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing okay.
I thought he came in this morning. Maybe I'm wrong.
I saw him.
Or I tagged him in the post. So, but we're going to call this a little short today. I'm not going to go as long as we have in the past.
Come on,
Do you
Scotty.
realize we've already been going an hour and a half?
Don't say that. You
Me
know you
mum.
like to go for a long time. You know it.
Hush now. That's
You
our
know
little
you
secret.
You should see
You
Terry's
can keep
face when I flash
going
him.
because I've seen you go.
Oh,
There you are.
Hush now.
Oh, you need to post that.
Hush now with my private information.
You need to post that one up there, Scotty.
What's
Valerie,
that?
Valerie, you should see Terry's face when I flash him.
Oh, nice. When you flash him?
No, not me. Her.
When Val
Oh.
flashes them, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
I have not flashed Harry, and I will not be doing so. But it's like, you know, he just has that look. But yeah, but
I'll flash, Terry. I'll flash you
Go
all.
on, do
See?
it.
That's all I got to show right there.
Woo!
Scars,
Yay!
baby, scars.
Yeah.
That makes a change.
But they're not bullet holes or anything. Mine aren't as cool as Michael's.
What you mean? They're
scars.
not love wounds?
They're not what?
No, they're
Like-
not love wounds.
Well, there are still some scratch scars back.
Well, there you go. See, everyone's gotta have some love wounds, right?
That's right. Love wounds. Love hurts.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, Scotty, you know, we need to go get twin tattoos. You know, your scar in the front, my scar in the back. We'll get them like zippers, like somebody zipped up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got 4 tattoos. I've got 4 tattoos.
I was
4.
going to do a sleeve.
Yeah.
I was going to have my son-in-law's studio do it down in North Carolina. And when we were all at Disney a couple of years ago, I had, you know, we're all in the swimming pool, and I'm showing off. I said, look, I don't even go out in public with that anymore because of all this and all that. And I said, I said, it just don't look good anymore. And we were talking about doing a chest to shoulder tattoo down the sleeve. So maybe something that kind of covered the scar and came over and did, like, you know, the armor thing and then, you know, stuff down there. I thought that's an awful lot. I don't have any tattoos yet. That would be an awful lot to do in one sitting. So,
sounds.
hi, Henry.
Yeah. There's
He doesn't love that, does he?
There he is. Oh, I'd love to cuddle him. I'd love to give him a big cuddle. He looks so cute.
Yeah, no,
Big
he's
hug.
not feeling
Big
too
hug.
today. He's not fab. He has good days and bad days. You know, he's
Guys,
not-
yeah.
a bit like his owner actually. But Scotty, I will say, I love you and leave you because I've got to get on, and I will talk to you, I would say, in a short while.
In a short while, we shall talk.
Sure.
And
I will
guys,
all to myself tonight.
Oh,
stop
that's
now.
not. That sounds nice.
All right,
You
before
deserve it.
That sounds great. That sounds
love-
good.
My heart's
You've
starting to
loved
race.
it for 20 years. You're not going to stop loving it now, right?
There you are. See,
before you
He
dip
loves
out there,
it. He's like, bring it on, Wendy. Bring
Bring
it
it,
on.
Wendy.
all right. Well, what will be the subject for Robinson?
That's what we have to talk about.
Yeah, it's
No
spoilers.
hint. No
Spoilers.
hint. No hint what it could be.
No.
Not yet.
No.
We'll
we
find
like
out,
to
though.
we like to keep you guys guessing till just a couple of hours before we're due on,
That's
so that
right.
certain
We like-
people we
we
know
like to-
don't get it.
We like to keep ourselves guessing till just a couple of hours before showtime.
That's not true. One of us has got an idea.
One of us does.
Well, let me ask you: is it going to be more historical, or will it be more relationship?
Maybe.
based? Or will
Maybe.
Spoilers.
could it be something like dark history from Britain, like Jack the Ripper, or what is it?
oh,
Maybe.
Or
maybe.
what was the other one?
I like Jack the Ripper stories. I love it. I love all
Well,
that.
What was
if
the
I
other one?
told you, Michael, I'd have to
Remember
kill you, and then that would be no good because it's a trade secret
That's
between
right.
me and young Scotty, right? Until we
Yes,
actually
it's
agree on
their
it,
secret.
we have to talk about it and go, what do you think about that subject? And he'll go, yeah, I'm it's same as Val. Like when Val and I do, when we talk about stuff, we have to sort of say, what do you feel about this? What's your sort of feel about it? So I can honestly say that I'm looking forward to seeing you all tonight on
Yes.
Robert's
And
Robertson.
Field Guy just asked, is there a Roberts and Robertson show today? Of course.
Every Tuesday.
Is it tonight? What time over here, Wendy? What time? 10, isn't it?
10 p.m.
Night?
10 o'clock.
Right. Okay, we'll do.
Yeah, 10.
It is. This is all I know. It's 10 o'clock in the UK and 3
Yeah.
o'clock in Calgary. That's
There
all
you
I
go.
know.
It'll be
Yeah.
5 p.m. Eastern
In
time,
Canada. Lovely.
4 p.m. Central time, 2 p.m. Left Coast time.
Yeah.
So, and 10 p.m. of course London time.
I mean,
And so
obviously,
come on over,
Scotty,
be right here on this channel.
I'll be bringing
Um,
any props tonight, Scotty.
Oh yeah. I have to
He
prop.
doesn't know how to take me sometimes. He really
Sometimes
doesn't.
you just attack my wit, and I'm like, my wit falls. I'm
mean,
like Terry
I mean,
Pitts with my
I
wit.
was going to save this for later, Scotty, but we could talk about the cuffs now if you'd like us to.
I still have a scar from that.
They obviously work. They obviously
They
work.
obviously
But,
work.
maybe that's a hint for later on.
Maybe that is.
Oh, she said, any hint on the subject? You see, I'm not the only one curious because, you have your dedicated listeners. And
Thank you. It means a lot to us. It really does.
And it says, and the Steph says, any hint on the subject? I'm trying to give them ideals here. That they've covered the Titanic. They've
Steph,
covered.
For a hint on the topic, you just gauge this conversation Wendy and I have just had, and you'll get an idea of where that might be going.
Safe word and why you need one.
And
Safe
Val
word,
just-
safe
Val
word.
just says, Wendy, bring the
Banana.
24-hour Scotty live stream.
I
Oh,
could
24
not
hours.
bring my trick bag on because I just couldn't. But that is the only one that I will say. This could be a hint for tonight's show.
I like it already.
And
I'm
guess
there.
what? No key, Scotty.
Oh,
No key.
crime and punishment. I see. Okay, yeah, crime and punishment. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Bring it, Wendy.
Bring
crime
it,
and-
honey.
Crime and
So-
punishment.
Anything to put certain people pasting and copying in your messaging.
Yes. In the chat room.
Yeah.
You got
Save
it.
it for
You got
Wicked
it.
Women. She wants me to bring me bag out for Wicked Women. I'll bring me bag out, love.
I'll bring me bag.
I'll bring me bag out.
Steph says, "Oh, I have fuzzy ones."
I see. I prefer the metal ones because they're what they're for, right?
They're
to
more
hold
realistic
people.
that way.
Exactly. I want them to feel like they're chained.
Yes. Yeah. What's the position? Yeah.
You have to cross them like that so that they can't get out
Yep.
of it that easy. Yeah.
And it's like
Just
the brass bed, you know.
Yeah.
Never been handcuffed. Never been handcuffed.
Oh, you too.
Valerie,
I've
you bring
never been
yours
stuck
up,
like this.
and I'll bring mine.
I'll bring mine.
Bring
too.
it, Wendy.
How many
Well,
sets of handcuffs does these women need? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
it
not just
depends
the
on how many they
handcuffs.
break.
It's the what's the
Leg
zip
shackles.
ties? The zip ties as well. Zip ties are very, very
Zip
good.
ties.
Oh, the zip
Yeah.
cuffs.
You can, if you're, you know, there are ways to get at zip ties. So
So
Great
tonight,
film.
Robertson, I will see you shortly.
yes, I
my
got to
hubby.
step away for a little bit, and
Yep, and I'll talk to you later.
and then and I'll give you a call in a bit.
See you later, Sandra.
And
See
we'll
you,
work things
Bye.
see you later.
I don't have
Wendy.
any. I don't have any handcuffs. I don't have any. So
Oh, see,
Hey,
every
I don't need them. I don't need them.
They're just willing.
I don't need them.
They're just
I
willing.
don't need them.
You don't have any handcuffs, but here, let me assume the position anyway.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, just
So-
get in possession. I'll see you later, sex kitten. And
Bye.
see you later, lovey.
Forgetting
Bye,
who she's
love.
talking
Bye.
to.
Bye.
See ya.
See you, Wendy.
Bye.
All right, guys.
Oh, dear.
And Wendy,
Okay.
it is pretty much heralding the end of this morning's show. We've been going for an hour
Yep.
and 45 minutes, believe it or not. And so we're going to get out of here. I got stuff
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to do, and
you got to find the
Wendy
tile.
to do, to call, and art to finish for clients. So it's a busy day. And it's
I've got
only
to dig
about,
out my handcuffs.
6 hours until Robertson. What's that, Sandra?
I've got to dig out my handcuffs.
Go dig out your handcuffs.
Find old Bill. What is it?
See you
Old
later,
Bill?
Sandra.
Okay,
for
take
calling
care of
and
yourself.
hanging out.
Bye. Talk later.
And Michael, as always, good to see you, brother. Love
Yes,
you.
sir.
Bam.
Love you, brother.
And I will talk to you a little later, probably after in 6 hours. So,
Yeah. Yes, it.
All right.
What is it? The whole.
Oh, yes. Live long and prosper, Michael.
Yes, sir. Yes,
See
sir.
you
Love
later.
bud.
All right, folks. That's pretty much it. That's about all we got today. So I want to thank you all for coming by. I'm just filling in for KB. And hopefully we'll see him back at the helm here soon again. And in the meantime, live long and prosper.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air for get inside. If the weather's fine and you got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Each bird keeps singing his own song. So long, I've got to be on my way now. No fun just hanging around. I got to cover ground. You couldn't keep me down. It just ain't no good if the sun shines and you're still inside. Still inside. Still children with robins and flowers. Sunshine caresses each new waking hour.